the enthusiasm go? Are you all digesting that information? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we're going to cross the other leg. So now it's the left behind the right, I think. You'll find I don't always get it right. And just do that movement a few times of taking your left leg behind your right. Feel the redistribution of your weight. So in some positions, how we redistribute our weight is obvious. And the more you learn to be able to observe that, feel that, the more you'll be able to observe more subtle weight shifts, changes in the relationship to the ground. So here it's a little weight shift creates a big amount of movement. But when you are rolling, small movement created a small shift in weight in this morning's lessons. So next time your knee is across, behind the other one, leave it there. And first of all, explore moving your pelvis a little left and right. And notice, are you doing a side bending movement with your pelvis? A turning movement with your pelvis? And what else is happening through the rest of your spine? And now tilt your pelvis forwards and backwards. Find a place where your weight is on your knee. And it's as if you're tilting your tailbone toward the floor and then lifting it upward towards the ceiling. Feel what happens through the length of your spine as you do that. Okay. That might be the challenge for you, but let's have a look. That's okay. You can do anything with your light arms. So your right leg is, that looks pretty perpendicular to me. So go smaller. So maybe this is what we find in most people, is that there'll be a preference, an easier direction. So can you, or there'll be a range of movement that is easy, and beyond that, it's almost impossible. So in a lesson, both in an ATM or an FI, we progress. So maybe just simply getting into the position is the first approximation. Or maybe finding out which is easier, forwards or backwards tilting of the pelvis, or turning the pelvis, or creating maybe there's one arc of movement of the pelvis. And then finding out where in the rest of yourself, if the movement is difficult locally, where could you assist yourself through the rest, from the rest of yourself, to make it a little possible in one direction, not necessarily all of them. That was good. So we've done forwards, backwards, left, right. So now begin. So this is a solution that Gloria's got here too, on her elbows. You know, that's another solution. If it gets really uncomfortable, it changes the biomechanics a little bit because of the direction of the weight, where the weight shift is, but it's still really close. Now, begin to move your pelvis in a small circle. But this time, let's imagine you've got a paintbrush attached to your coccyx. So maybe a different image could help you, Helen. And that you wanted to draw a circle with your paintbrush. Is it in bicycle plane? It would be in the, like a wall behind you. But it's not a flat, it's not a straight wall because of whatever's possible through your spine. It might be an inclined wall. And change directions. But think of the wall as being the wall of the room behind you, but closer to you, so you don't need a 30-foot paintbrush. And change directions. And observe your breathing. Do you have any sense that more of yourself is involved in the movement now? It's great. Okay. Leave it, uncross your legs, lie on your back and rest. Please come back onto your hands and your knees. Could you cross your right leg behind your left and just notice what you do with your lower back, the shape of your back. Do you round your back more as you take your leg over, or do you arch your back? Lift your head. Well, you can arch your back without lifting your head, but then you're isolating the movement, interfering with that transmission through your skeleton. So just see, do you have any sense which is easier? Arching your back, the length of your spine, lifting your head as you put your leg to the other side, or rounding? Try your other leg. And next time you bring your right leg behind your left leg, stay there, slide your left leg out from in front and then behind your right leg. Put it to the other side behind your right leg. So your left leg is behind your right leg. Either which way, what you're going to do is cross one leg behind and then bring the leg that's in front on top of your other one, bring it out and take it around and behind and put it behind and to the other side of your other leg. Yeah. Yes, crawling behind crossing is the name. So you're going to be moving backwards. May not be the fastest way of crawling, but maybe you never know until you've learned something how really well how fast you can go, how fast is possible. Okay. Can you go forwards like that? I've got some Speedy Gonzales going forwards. So there's a few ways of going forwards. Do you keep your knee on the floor the whole time, or do you lift your knee off the floor? So if you lift your knee off the floor, it requires a lot more movement of folding, rounding through the length of your spine and arching. And if you keep your knees on the floor, so while I'm describing this, you're trying out the different ways, there's a lot more movement in another direction. Backwards and forwards. So try the two different ways. Ah. So I don't think I've learned Philippa. No, I didn't know your name. One, Philippa's got a description. One's like this. Yeah, flexion. Yeah, forwards and back. Rocking. When you felt them both, lie down and rest. And notice how you sense yourself now, the contact with the floor. What shows up after those movements in the way you're lying and relating to the floor? Please roll yourself to one side, bring yourself up to sitting and then up to standing. Take a moment to sense you're standing and then walk around. So we did a walking scan at the beginning. Go for a walk. See, can you identify anything? Any sensation of movement? Any relationship that has been influenced or changed a little from doing these, exploring these ways of crawling? Okay, let's take a 5-minute break.